On this special edition of the report, we discuss the many issues of this country. We will talk with three experts on the subject of Romanticism: a musician, a chimney sweep, and a dead guy. We will find out what needs to be done to fix America. And this is the Colbert Report. Nation, it has come to my attention that we have strayed from the ideals that made this country strong. The ideals of Romanticism. Now, Romanticism isn't the romance you see in movies like The Notebook, or Sleepless in Seattle, or Leap Year, or even Emma Daughter's Jug Band Christmas. No, Romanticism is what made this country great back in the glory days. And here, on this special edition of the Colbert Report, we have three guests who will help us learn how to save our dying country. And here they are. We have Billy Joel from Green Day, the author William Blake, who's returned from the dead to help us, and also we have a chimney sweep from the poem The Chimney Sweep. So, Billy, what is your opinion of modern society?
Well, Stephen, I think that we have been rebelling, but our society has become way too politically correct.
Right. Now, what do you mean by rebelling? Do you consider that a good thing or a bad thing?
I consider it a good thing. I mean, I am one for peaceful protest, but I believe that we need to be more out there.
Right. And, Mr. Blake, what is your opinion of modern society?
I think modern society is too conformative and needs to be more independent.
Right, so you consider that people need more of an opinion in their lives?
Yes.
Right. Now, Mr. Sweep, is it?
Yes.
What do you represent as a character?
I think that when Blake was writing The Chimney Sweep, he wanted me to represent the good and the bad sides of society.
I see. So, Mr. Sweep, what does your poem get across to people? What is the message your poem sends?
The message that my poem sends to the public is that if you have good morals, then you'll live a happy life.
I have good morals. I'm happy. I believe you there. Okay, that's true. And Mr. Blake, just as a clarification to the viewers, what are the romantic ideals?
Well, there are 5 of them. The love of nature, accept the eccentric, rebel against society, rejection of classic art forms, and emotion and imagination.
Right. Now, when you say rejection of classic art forms, do you just mean that Mozart sucks?
Yes.
Or do you mean that you need to make new art that is different from old art?
Yes, like what you said, just create something new.
Be creative.
Independence.
And Mr. Joe, Billy, is there a certain song of yours that gets across the romantic ideals?
Well, Stephen, Holiday gets across one of the romantic ideals, rebel against society. It talks about how you should not conform to the picture that society paints for you.
All right, I see. Be your own person. So, Mr. Sweep, do you consider yourself a role model?
I'd say when I was younger, yes, but now I've just become part of the system of society.
What do you mean by that?
I mean, I'm just another working man who has to work for the rich and doesn't really have a say in what they do with their lives.
Right. It's unfortunate. Now, I understand you need to get back to your busy lifestyle of sweeping.
Yes.
So, it's been great having you. And if you could do us a favor and possibly get the bathrooms on your way out, that'd be much appreciated. Thank you. All right. Billy, do you consider yourself a romantic writer?
Yes, Stephen, I do. Many of my songs have many of the romantic ideals, and I believe that I used many of them in my writing.
Right, so you just believe in change and all that Romanticism stands for.
Yes.
Okay. Now, Mr. Blake, what do you think is the most important romantic ideal?
I believe rebelling against society is the most important romantic ideal because people need to learn how to be themselves and become more independent and not follow through the system.
Right. Mr. Billy, how has the romantic movement of Mr. Blake's time inspired your songwriting?
Well, Stephen, I believe that it's inspired my writing a heck of a lot. Through many of my songs, I use the romantic principles, and I believe I've made a career out of it.
Right. So it's been the the past has very well and beneficial to you affected your life.
I believe the past always affects the future.
Great. Strong words. Now, Mr. Blake, I understand that in America, and as all you viewers know, I go on about this almost every show, that America is basically in a pit. And when you have shows like The Real Housewives and Jersey Shore and Dance Moms, something has to be wrong with your country. So what do you believe we can do to get our country back to when it was back in the glory days, back in the 1800s, back in when everyone's morals were straight and things were solid here in America?
People need to become more creative and use their emotion and imagination to create a personality for them, become an individual.
All right, well, thank you both so much for coming on the report. It's been a pleasure having you here. And I'm sure you have bigger and better things to do with changing the world, so I'll leave you to it.
Thank you, Mr. Colbert.
Thank you for having me. Going back to my grave now.
So, America, what will you do? Will you continue with your fat, lazy lives, just sitting on the couch, eating McDonald's in your Snuggie? Or will you go out there and try to change the world? This is Stephen Colbert, and this was the Colbert Report.